Welcome to Universe Decoded. Please click the notification bell to receive the latest updates. Did you know that in 2025 Trump wants to ban immigration from 10 specific Asian countries? We're talking about a sweeping ban, folks, impacting millions. In this video, we'll reveal the full list and break down the reason for each one. From national threats to diplomatic issues, every country on this list has a different backstory. We're talking about real lives, real families caught in the crossfire of political maneuvering. Let's see who made the list and why. First up, Cambodia. The Trump administration claims Cambodia is getting too cozy with China. Increased military cooperation, massive loans. It's got the US worried. Critics say this whole immigration ban is just retaliation for Cambodia not playing ball. They say it's about politics, pure and simple, using Cambodia as a pawn to send a message to China. But at what cost? This ban is going to have real consequences for real people. Is this a legitimate security threat, or just another example of Trump's heavy-handed foreign policy? You decide. Let's move on to Pakistan. The Trump administration says Pakistan's intelligence agencies are turning a blind eye to terrorist groups. They argue that this makes it incredibly difficult to properly vet individuals coming from Pakistan. But Pakistan denies these allegations, saying they've made significant progress in recent years. Is Pakistan a breeding ground for terrorists, or is the US overreacting? It's a complicated issue with no easy answers. Next up is Iran. The Trump administration cites Iran's nuclear program as its primary concern. They accuse Iran of supporting terrorist groups like Hezbollah and Hamas. Critics argue that this is just another example of Trump's anti-Muslim agenda. Is Iran a genuine threat to US security? Or is this just another example of Trump's Islamophobia? Chapter 4. Syria. Humanitarian crisis or security risk? Syria, a land once known for its rich history, now synonymous with conflict and despair. The country, which was once a cradle of civilization, has been torn apart by years of brutal civil war. The ancient ruins and vibrant cities that once attracted tourists from around the world now lie in ruins, a stark reminder of the devastation that has taken place. The Trump administration argues that allowing immigration from Syria would be like opening the floodgates to potential terrorists. They claim that the security risks are too high and that it is impossible to properly vet every individual seeking asylum. But human rights groups argue that this ban is cruel and inhumane. They point out that the vast majority of those seeking refuge are fleeing violence and persecution, not looking to cause harm. These groups emphasize the moral obligation to help those in need, regardless of the potential risks. They emphasize that the majority of refugees are innocent civilians, including women and children. These families have endured unimaginable hardships, often losing everything they own and being forced to leave their homes with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Refugees are already subjected to rigorous security screenings, which can take years to complete. These screenings are designed to identify and prevent any potential threats from entering the country, ensuring that only those who pose no risk are granted asylum. The vast majority of Syrian refugees are just ordinary families trying to escape violence. They are seeking safety and a chance to rebuild their lives in a place where they can live without fear of bombings, shootings, and other forms of violence. Is the US right to be worried about security risks posed by Syrian refugees, or are these fears exaggerated? The debate continues with strong arguments on both sides. Ultimately, the question remains, how can we balance our security concerns with our humanitarian responsibilities? Chapter 5. Malaysia. Human trafficking hub or scapegoat? The Trump administration claims there are serious concerns about illegal immigration and security risks. They argue that Malaysia has become a significant hub for human trafficking and smuggling. The administration is particularly worried about the lack of cooperation from Malaysian authorities. Critics argue that this heavy-handed approach will only damage relations between the two countries. They advocate for dialogue and cooperation, suggesting that these are the keys to addressing such complex challenges. The long-term impact of such a policy remains to be seen. Chapter 6. Afghanistan, unstable nation or betrayal of allies? The US withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021 left the country in a precarious state. The rapid exit of American troops created a power vacuum that the Taliban quickly filled, leading to widespread instability and fear among the Afghan population. The Trump administration argues that the situation in Afghanistan remains too volatile to allow for immigration. They believe that the security risks are too high and that the country is not stable enough to ensure the safety of those who might be allowed to immigrate. They cite the Taliban's history of harboring terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda. This history raises concerns about the potential for these groups to use Afghanistan as a base for planning and launching attacks against the United States and its allies. Critics argue that this ban punishes innocent Afghans who are desperate to escape the Taliban's rule. They highlight the humanitarian crisis that has unfolded, with thousands of Afghans fleeing their homes in search of safety and a better life. They point out that many Afghans risked their lives working alongside U.S. forces. These individuals, including interpreters and support staff, provided invaluable assistance to the U.S. military during the conflict. They argue that the U.S. has a moral obligation to protect these individuals. The promise of safety and refuge was made to those who stood by American forces, and many believe that this promise must be honored. The debate over immigration from Afghanistan highlights the complex challenges and moral dilemmas facing the U.S. It underscores the tension between national security concerns and the ethical responsibility to assist those who have been allies in times of conflict. This ongoing debate continues to shape U.S. policy and its global image. Bangladesh, a nation grappling with poverty and overpopulation, finds itself caught in the crosshairs of Trump's immigration ban. The Trump administration argues that Bangladesh has a high rate of visa overstays. Critics argue that the Trump administration is scapegoating Bangladesh. They point out that Bangladesh is a developing country facing significant economic challenges. The situation with Bangladesh highlights the complexities of immigration policy and the human impact of decisions made in Washington. It's a reminder that behind the statistics and the rhetoric are real people with real lives. Chapter 8. Myanmar. Turning a blind eye to genocide? The Rohingya Muslim minority has faced brutal persecution at the hands of the Myanmar military. The Trump administration has implemented a ban on immigration from Myanmar, citing concerns about the country's instability. Critics of the ban argue that it punishes innocent people fleeing persecution. They point out that the Rohingya are victims, not perpetrators. The situation in Myanmar presents a complex challenge for U.S. foreign policy. It's a test of our values, of what we stand for as a nation. Chapter 9. China, economic rival or existential threat. The U.S. and China have been locked in a tense rivalry for years. The Trump administration accuses China of unfair trade practices and espionage. Critics argue that these restrictions will only serve to isolate the U.S. They say that these policies are creating uncertainty and fear among Chinese students and researchers in the U.S. The Trump administration's actions have strained relations between the two countries. It remains to be seen how this will all play out in the long run. Chapter 10. India tech powerhouse or visa violators. India, a nation known for its vibrant culture and rapid technological advancements, faces new immigration challenges under the Trump administration. The country has long been a hub for tech innovation, producing some of the world's most skilled IT professionals. However, recent changes in U.S. immigration policy have cast a shadow over this success story. The Trump administration argues that India's rapid economic growth has led to an increase in visa abuse. They claim that many Indian professionals are exploiting the H-1B visa program, which is intended to bring highly skilled workers to the U.S. This has led to stricter scrutiny and more stringent visa requirements. Critics argue that these measures are discriminatory and harmful to both the U.S. and Indian economies. They believe that the new policies are not just about preventing visa abuse, but are also a form of economic protectionism. These critics point out that the U.S. tech industry heavily relies on Indian talent to maintain its competitive edge. They point out that Indian professionals contribute significantly to the U.S. tech industry. From Silicon Valley startups to major corporations, Indian IT experts are integral to innovation and development. Their skills and expertise help drive technological advancements and economic growth in the U.S. These policies are not just numbers on paper. They represent real barriers that affect the lives of thousands of individuals. The increased difficulty in obtaining visas has led to delays and uncertainties, impacting both personal and professional lives. They have real human impacts, creating uncertainty and fear among Indian communities in the U.S. Families are left in limbo, unsure if they will be able to stay together. Professionals worry about their job security and future prospects. The situation with India highlights the complex interplay between economic competitiveness, immigration policy, and international relations. It raises questions about how nations can balance the need for skilled labor with the desire to protect domestic jobs. Despite these challenges, India continues to be a powerhouse of innovation. The country's tech industry is resilient, constantly evolving and finding new ways to overcome obstacles. Indian startups and established companies alike are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Collaborative projects between US and Indian tech companies showcase the potential for mutual growth. These partnerships highlight the benefits of international cooperation and the shared goal of technological advancement. Together, they can achieve more than they could alone, driving progress and innovation on a global scale. Outro: the human cost of immigration bans. That's it for today's list, folks. 10 countries, 10 different stories, all caught in the web of American immigration policy. Do you think Trump's ban helps protect the US, or is it unfair to people from these countries? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos.